Lots of people here know Dr. Schoen because, well, he's the guy that brought acupuncture to veterinary in the first place. A true pioneer, the wonderful Eastern-Western balance of Cornell with Western science, but also the Eastern and appreciation of thousands of years of tradition with acupuncture. So he was very involved in getting acupuncture started in the US. But today we're at an ICELP module. And this was the perfect opportunity for Dr. Schoen to come in and give a presentation on some truly startling developments in our understanding of the science behind acupuncture, the liquid crystalline collagen continuum inside our bodies. Neat stuff. The vets were on fire about this. They came by to see us this morning, very excited, wanting to learn more. But today we're going to talk about something that's really important to all of us as pet owners, all of us who care about compassion and alleviating pain and inflammation and speeding up wound healing. And we want to talk about what's been past and what's been present and what could be the future. So we're talking about laser therapy and all the great things it can do, but the problem is it's not doing enough on a consistent enough basis for your pets, for you as a veterinarian, because it's hard to come in to get the consistency of treatments. To really deal with chronic arthritis, it takes a series of treatments. So Dr. Schoen, you can really speak to this because you've been in practice for 35 years, recently retired to this gorgeous place, Salt Spring Island. But in your many years of practice, how often was an animal suffering because it couldn't get the consistency? Someone maybe couldn't come in for the treatment, maybe come in for the appointment on a regular basis. Am I kidding myself, or is this a real problem?
No, this is one of the greatest challenges. When I sold my conventional veterinary practice in the 80s and focused just on chronic problems, chronic pain and suffering, my goal was to look and explore all the different options that could help relieve pain and suffering in animals that didn't respond either to Western medications or surgery. And that's how I got into acupuncture. And even back then, in the early 80s, I was using laser, and I knew I got the theories, and we did in my textbook on complementary and alternative veterinary medicine, we have a whole chapter on laser research. That was back in the 90s. But still, there weren't the lasers that made it very practical, that didn't have the depth of penetration, that also had safety. And that's the only reason I really got so excited about Activent Multi-Radiance, is all of a sudden, you introduced me to a laser that was, number one, safe. Number two, got depth of penetration. Number three, that you saw the results instantly. And now where it evolved and you actually have this pet laser rental program, one of the biggest problems that we had back then was how do you get the clients to keep on coming back for continuous acupuncture? And some people could do it, and enough that I was super busy, but there were, whether people would have to cancel and then there would be delays, or they got caught in traffic, or they had kid issues and children issues with getting them in all different places, and trying to fit it in was challenging. Number one. Number two is some animals they've had negative experiences at animal hospitals, being castrated, spayed, and they go, exit stage left, I'm out of here. Or cats that just did not like to travel. Or
into a carrier.
Into a carrier, car sick, this and that and everything. And so I was always looking at what can we do naturally at home. And I worked on different supplements and things like that. But when the pet laser program came in, it was like an epiphany for me, like, oh my gosh, you can actually have something safe that they can take home. And that is really complements everything else we do with Western medicine and with acupuncture, where they can be continuing the treatment at home. Now, what amazed, the light bulbs went on in my mind, my gosh, so many clients are sitting there at night and they're petting their dog or petting their cat, but they're in pain and they're, they can actually just be sitting there and using the laser and helping the animal heal, relieve the pain and inflammation. The animal, the cat's purring, the dog's just nuzzling up to you.
Chill.
They're chilling, they're in bliss. You see the instant effect. And then what happens, the bond deepens even more because the person is sitting there, the animal's getting the pain relief, the anti-inflammatory effects, everything like that. And they're associating with just sitting there with their
Exactly.
person and doing that. So you're seeing those instant results. Then all of a sudden the client feels like they're part of the treatment. They're empowering them. So it deepens the human-animal bond. This was something that I didn't even appreciate the depth of how grateful the clients were that, my gosh, I'm part of the treatment. And that we can do it every day or every other day at home. Then they come in, they're so excited, and their animals just loving them. And then you find the animal even wants to sit with them more because, does the name Pavlov ring a bell?
Of course.
They associate sitting with you with being out of pain.
That's right. We've all seen the situation with these animals that are in tremendous pain. Now you have an alternative to the drugs. Alternative to the side effects caused in the kidneys and the livers with these drugs over long-term use.
Right.
So we're both pretty excited about this Rent My Pet Laser program because it solves a fundamental problem. How do you give these incredible animals that give us this unconditional love, how do you give back to them in a way that works, that fits? And it's hard to get into the vet practice. They understand that. We all understand that. But having something that your vet can diagnose, prescribe for you, give you the protocols, you take it home with you, this seems to really solve a big problem.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this to other vets?
Oh, I think it is such a foundation because it's a win-win-win.
Exactly.
Everyone is happy.
Exactly.
You think, I think of how many clients would, they put the ramp out of the SUV trying to get the old dog to come in, or they're carrying it and they have a bad back and they're carrying their dog in because it won't walk.
That's right.
All of this, now we have the ability to safely treat that at home, not as a substitute for everything else, but to complement it. And so there's no downside.
Right. So let's be very clear. Class 4 lasers, even Class 3B lasers, have hazards sufficient that they could not be prescribed by a physician.
Correct.
Too much liability, too much potential for danger and harm.
Correct.
But a Class 1 laser like the Multi-Radiance, true super pulse, nanosecond pulses, there's no heat issue. Class 1 means equivalent to over-the-counter safe. That means you as a vet can send this home, have it in your tech's hands. Techs are on fire about this because it gives them a whole new learning path and a way to increase their value. So they become the point of contact oftentimes in a vet practice so that the vet now has someone he can delegate it to. And that tech is excited because she now has a new modality to use with your clients to get these pets feeling much better. And everybody ends up happy. This is what he said about a win-win-win situation. So go to our landing page for multiradiance.com/veterinary. Find out more about My Pet Laser because as we discussed today, this is a big answer to a huge problem out there. For pain management, inflammation, wound healing, very few things can equal the power of a true super pulse laser to make these conditions better and give your animal back the love it deserves for being such incredible friends to us.
Absolutely. If one of our main goals as a veterinarian, because we love animals, is relieving pain and suffering, this to me is a quantum leap into the future of a whole new approach to relieving pain and suffering in our animals, and again, and deepening of that human-animal bond that the client feels like, my gosh, I can do this at home, along with my veterinarian and my veterinary technician guiding me, monitoring everything,
That's right.
and guiding the treatment.
Good. So take advantage of a free offer we have for you because the new My Pet Laser marketing program is now all on one of those crazy convenient business card size flash drives. All of the elements of the My Pet Laser program are in that. We're making it available to you. Find out the facts about this. See if this wouldn't make a wonderful thing to integrate into your practice and solve a big problem for you by making a win-win situation for the animals, the clients, and for your practice. This is Mark Strong and Dr. Alan Schoen. Thank you very much. We're going to continue this discussion and other subjects that I think you'll find very interesting. So keep an eye out for our blogs in the future. Dr. Schoen, thank you so much.
It's a joy.
Thank you very much.
Yep.